probably don't even have a name to protect. That is why you will see them coming to talk about tyranny. People should not be talking about it. If you have a name to protect, if you have a dignity to protect, if you have honor to protect, if you defend my character, if you say anything that is not right about me, I will sue your fucking house to court. I don't care. You don't have anything to lose. That's why you advise people to let it go. What do you have apart from your 10,000 naira they give you every day you go and eat? You don't have anything to protect. And then you are comparing Tinubu and comparing P2B. Listen, the constitution actually gives everybody every right to do what if he's going against according to the constitution, if Tinubu wants to keep quiet for 100 years, it is right to keep quiet on issues. If P2B wants to sue every damn person that talks about him to court, it is right to do that. Don't compare two people. I can't be quiet. Deji might not be. They might decide to take things the legal way. So anyone that talks about his name, that defends his name, I can decide to keep quiet. Most of the spaces I'm going to say it again. I don't think he will be the president of Nigeria. But at the same time, I'm not also that stupid to think that he shouldn't stand up to his name when he has been defended. I don't think so.
Hi, thank you for joining in. So we are discussing P2B. It's ridiculous. So we are discussing P2B and the Deji. I'm sure most of us already know what is going on with their case. So there's been an update. Deji has got what lawyers would call cease and desist. So that's the update on it and taking people's reactions on the matter. So I do hope you enjoy it and please subscribe to my channel so you can follow me and know when next I come
Yeah, I know
online.
it.
And so you can
Yeah, I know it.
also use the
This is coming
opportunity
from
to
somebody.
support
Listen,
the
I don't know
page.
who you
Thank you
are,
so much.
but I'm saying if anybody chooses you as a lawyer to represent her in court, the person has lost the case from the very first day the person came to you. The person has lost his or her case from the very first day the person comes to you. If you are a lawyer in America where you are, and then you're saying that somebody who is fighting for his name is suing somebody to call for defamation is tyranny, then I think you should go back and probably review your certificate again and review your probably what you learned in law school. Because as even me, I'm not a lawyer, I know more than that rubbish you were coming here to talk about. Somebody has grown as old as P2B. You are teaching him when to go to court and when not to go to court. What have you? How many court cases have you been to court before? He has probably been to court more than you can ever be in your life. And then you're teaching such a man how to when to go to court, how to go to court, and you're talking rubbish and you're saying it with confidence. I'm so sorry for anybody who comes to you to represent him or her in court. Because I don't know if this case is recorded. Go back and listen to yourself again. If it defends me, if I want to take, I will take it up. Any APC person that thinks Sarah go and charge that to court, it's a separate issue. That Sarah supposed P2B does not mean that anything P2B done is linked to Sarah. These are two separate issues. Okay, now let's be thinking. Let's shoot our head. It's not everything they give you money for because it is P2B. The other day I was on Mars this space and I told him, I said, when somebody came on his space and was saying P2B does not have relevance. Example, of the fact that the man still has relevance. Because just a small court case, the whole Twitter is on fire. This is the same man, you people will come and say it doesn't have relevance anymore. Are you not seeing the stupidity in some of your statements you make? Again, like I said before, I've said it over and over again. As somebody who is from the West, I voted him in the last election. I will not even vote him again. Would win, even if he wins. I don't think he'll be declared winner and nothing can be done. I don't think I will vote for him again. But I will not stand anybody talking or saying trash when you are not using your head. So, if Tinubu knows anybody has defamed him, he has the right to take them to court. If Peter Obi knows anybody has defamed him, he has the right to take him to court. If they don't want to, it is their choice.
Yeah.
But when they do, please don't come and start crying and start telling us that they are not supposed to. Because fundamental human rights shine in our constitution as Nigerians. I yield, Deji.
Thank you very much, Fermi. First of all, I'd like to apologize to those who have waited for long. In fact, Fermi is one of the last of the initial guys I had kept on for so long, and now you two are now part of the guys I've kept on for so long. I can't even imagine if I was trying to speak and it's taking this long. God knows I would have been frustrated. So I don't take it for granted. So I apologize. And also to the requests, I see the request. So please, everyone will speak as long as the request is still open. All right, let's set a new queue. Shortly, we'll be having a women segment. Women segment. So if you are a lady and you want to jump the queue, please request for the mic now. For a few, we'll dedicate like maybe 30 minutes for just women. Thank you. All right. Real ever best. Please go on.
All right. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening. Depending where you're spacing from. I've been waiting to get this mic, and I've forgotten a lot I wanted to say. So Deji, it's been a while. Because of time, I just greet one person here. Sweet Angel, it's been a while. How are you doing? Anyway, what I want to say is this. Let me just start from the known, then I'll go to maybe touch other places. There's a speaker that actually spoke here. I can't find him again, at least to know what his name is now. I think he was trying to talk about what Sarah said. I don't think Sarah said that Tinubu does not have the power to actually declare state of emergency in Rivers State. Even
Yeah,
though,
that was Ola.
can you hear me?
Yeah, I said that was Ola. That was Ola.
Okay, even though that was not the argument, and if let's, for the purpose of argument, let's even agree that that was a legitimate conditions for him to have declared state of emergency in Rivers State, even though there was none. But that was not Sarah's argument. Sarah's argument, I'm sure, was that he does not have the right to remove a sitting governor. The constitution does not give him such power to he can actually declare a state of emergency if there are conditions that warrant that. He can do that. But he does not have the right to remove a sitting governor. That is not part of the constitution that actually say that. Again, the problem I have, and I used to think before this time that the reason why we've had it bad in Nigeria because of the level of education in Nigeria. But in recent time, I've now come to realize that the problem of Nigeria is educated people. The problem that we have in this country today are educated people. The choices that they make and the people that they persuade. Because the one thing about the educated people is that they are the brain boss. They are the brain boss of those people who are not educated. So when you have an educated class that constantly promote bigotry, constantly promotes ineptitude, constantly promotes corruption, constantly promote bad leader, it means that their followers, those that follow them, will actually, gravitate around those kind of things. I think it was Karl Marx that said the ideas of the ruling class is the prevailing ideas in every historical epoch. So the problem of Nigeria basically is actually in a large form educated people. And if you check in Nigeria today, the most people who are driving narrative are people who educate other people we should look forward to. Deji, the Deji we are talking today is not an ordinary person. It's an educated man, somebody whose opinion, a lot of, who shape public opinion in Nigeria. And now he's a lawyer and, in his own right, a human rights artist. So it's not just an ordinary person. People like Reno or Mokri, say what you want to say about him. He's also an educated. People like Daniel Bwala. In short, I used to respect that man so much so that even during the tribunal cases that he was even in PDP and I was in Labour Party, most times when I see him in court, I want to go and greet him because I just believe that, this man is an educated person. But most times when you see the kind of things that they promote and the kind of stand they take, you now begin to wonder, how can these people be the kind of people that will drive genuine change in Nigeria? There's one other person too in recent time. People like Femi Fani-Kayode, say what you want to say about him. He's an educated person. He's somebody who went to some of the best schools in the world, and look at the kind of position they take. Another person that people have not really reviewed himself so well is somebody like what's his name now? Shegu Shewomi. Shegu Shewomi. That's another person. That one, he might not really understand the kind of politics he's playing, but very soon he will reveal himself. And these are people that are educated, and a whole lot of them, if you just want to expand that net, a whole lot of people. So the problem of Nigeria is not so much about, we have a lot of uneducated. No, it's people who are educated driving narrative. Because you now wonder, why is it the case that in Nigeria that we cannot have people who are educated, people who you think are fighting for the good of this country, coming together to say, let us promote somebody who, at least this person, nobody's expecting an angel to come and rule Nigeria. Nobody has said that. We are saying that if in every election there are people who have come out to vote, we have to look at them as perhaps enlightened people and say, yes, even though these people are not the best we can get, but within this period, in this election, that within this person and this person, I think this person is better. But you will now see in our own case, the people who are educated, those are the ones who will gather around, put their resources together, pull everything to make sure that they bring down the best among those people who are contesting. And at the end of the day, they will now come back and start saying, oh, Tinubu is doing this. Oh, Buhari did this. Why didn't Buhari do this? Meanwhile, they are the one who promoted that same person. They are the one who made sure that person became president. The people who made Buhari become president in Nigeria are not educated people. They are educated people. Like Professor Wole Soyinka was among the people who made sure that Buhari became president. Wole Soyinka, nobody can say it's not. And in short, when the East did not vote for Buhari, he said that the East did not vote because the East were considering their stomach. It was because of their stomach that they did not vote for Buhari. Like, we don't have anything to think of. The only thing we think of is our stomach. So which means we are not even reasonable not to have voted Buhari. And a lot of people made those kind of disparaging steps. And people, at the end of all of these same people, this APC today, that is saying that Buhari government destroyed this country. This same Tinubu that is telling us that Buhari destroyed this country. Everybody in APC that is saying what they are saying about Buhari government, they are the one who brought Buhari. They are the one. Buhari, in that election, I think in 2015, Jonathan was a better candidate. In 2019, Atiku was a better candidate to compare with Buhari. But they promoted Buhari. They did everything they could do. They made Buhari. That same people today is telling you that Buhari destroyed the country. That, in short, they inherited a very bad economy from the same man that they promoted. And that is where we have found ourselves. And I hope that some of us who are fair-minded people can actually come back, take some step backward and say, we as a country, where are we going? Nobody is against you, voting for whoever you want to vote. But don't say, oh, I'm voting this person because of, this other person did it. They will tell you that, the reason I didn't vote for P2B is because P2B is a religious bigot. But somehow he allows Tinubu, who actually choose a Muslim, for the first time promoted a Muslim ticket, and for the sole purpose that he wants to make sure that the Muslim not vote for him, because he feels that if he chooses a Muslim ticket, that the North will vote for him. He did not talk about Atiku, who said that what the Northerners need, that what Northerners need is a Northerner who is a Muslim and who actually understand the other part of the country. That is what he said it in his mouth.
Sorry, really, Evabes. I'm still trying to find a way to ask you how all this ties to Deji Adeyanju's case, please.
No, the point I'm trying to make is that people are making it look like, if you accuse P2B, that why should P2B bother to actually sue Deji to court? I'm trying to say that Deji is an educated person. He's aware of what he's doing. And it's not just being an educated person. It's somebody who has who shapes public opinion, and who is also a lawyer. And I'm saying that it's not even just about that. That this is how the Nigerian system operates. And if one does not check it, if somebody does not check it, that it will be a norm. It will be an instrument through which people who are supposed to even be in position of leadership, or people who should even correct some of the things we try to correct, will not even come into leadership position. Because to become a leader in Nigeria is very, very difficult. For a good person to come and rule Nigeria is very, very difficult. And that is why you see people like Peter Obi, who nobody has called Peter Obi a messiah. But we are saying that within the people who has presented themselves for leadership position, that this man, and this man is daring people and say, if you can say I've eaten public money in my private or public life, bring it, I will resign. Nobody has come. But we allow people like Deji a space to every day disparage this person, and somehow we feel it's normal. And when this man now has even taken a step and said, okay, let us go to court, and he has not even taken Deji to court. He said, Deji, I want you to recount this thing, because I know these things are lies. I'm giving you an opportunity to recount it and say I'm sorry. He has not taken him. But if you fail to do that, I'm now going to take, instead of people to say, Deji, please, if this thing you're saying is lies about this man for political purposes and whatever it is, that please recount it. They are not telling Deji that. They are blaming Peter Obi to say, oh, why should Peter? Which means you're saying that Peter Obi should allow his name to be denigrated. He should allow his reputation to be destroyed. He should allow his presidential ambition to be derailed because of people who should know better, but who does not want to promote anything good. Another point I'm making is that, let me also make that point, that the problem of this country, why this country is not moving forward, is educated people who you think are educated, but they are using the education to make sure that Nigeria will not have good leadership. Because if people like Deji cannot know between right and wrong, if people like Reno Mokri cannot, if people like Buala, if people like some of these, even Professor Wole Soyinka cannot know between good and bad, then we have a serious problem. And it is in spaces like this, please let me make it is in spaces like this that we can help to shape, because we cannot continue to say, oh, we are looking for one educated person, one professor, or one chief, or one imam, or one other from somewhere to come and tell us the best. We ourselves as Nigerian citizens, this should be an eye-opener to every one of us to say that if we must get Nigeria right, that we cannot continue to rely our destiny on ethnic bigotry, on religion, or where somebody comes from. And what happened in the last election is actually something that should actually encourage a whole lot of us, because the last election showed one thing, that irrespective of what happened, that Nigerian for the first time came together and tried to rebook this ethnic politics and religious politics that has actually engulfed our progress in this country. For the first time, we push.
Okay.
Let me, when you're saying okay,
please round up in 10 seconds, please.
No, 10 seconds. No, let me round up in 1 minute. That this kind of politics is not actually healthy. It's not actually healthy for this country. And if there are people who will actually change the narrative in this country, it is the young people like us. It is young people that can actually, because the elderly people have actually, whether they're educated or not educated, they have failed us. And if we fail, and one thing that actually annoys me about this country is that the people who support this bad leadership, majority of them are also at the receiving end of the effect of bad leadership. So the people you see that come to promote, like the guy that come here and say, oh, we know about Tinubu education, and when you ask him question, he could not answer. These people are people who are promoting what they don't even know about. The people who told us that Tinubu did not go to school, it's not obedience. People, when Gani sued Tinubu to court, P2B has not even started contesting presidency. When they sued him to court, it was Tinubu himself that used his hand and swear affidavit and say, I went to secondary school in Ibadan, that he went to a government college in Ibadan. It was him that said it. And when people called him to come and prove it, so if Tinubu cannot prove the secondary school that he went to, who are you to prove the secondary school that he went to? The person he said the other day that is his schoolmate in Chicago, the people have come to say, when that man was in school, the man was 15 years when you were in school. How could that guy be your schoolmate? So these things are truth that is clear on public spaces, but people want to close their eye to it because they want to promote falsehood and they want to make sure that bad people continue to rule us. And it is upon us to make sure that these things, does not actually hold water. Young people like more
Thank
open
you very
spaces like
much.
this. We don't have to give opportunity for people to continue and lie and lie and lie. Each time we see them, we have to debunk it. Each time we see them on a space, we don't have to allow them the ability to spread lies and go. We should debunk it immediately so that it will be in the mind of people that these things are lies. If P2B does not have the opportunity to say that what they just saying is lies, people will take it hook, line, and sinker because they, oh, P2B, why didn't you come and sue Deji? When he said, he did not even say sue me, he said triple. He said sue me, triple. Anyway, since you don't have time, thank you for the opportunity.
You had enough time, really, my best. All right. I would like to remind the speakers. I think there's this deviation from the topic from the last few speakers, and I think we need to find our way back. Maybe we need a lawyer to, kick us back into, the thick of things. You see, Maxwell, please go on.
Good evening to you, DG. Good evening to every other person on the space. For people like well-meaning Nigeria, there are people that you give them the space when every other person has spoken, so that they can round up the space. He's my very good friend, a very passionate speaker. I wish that I can speak without being disturbed by the bell. But real ever best, no matter what you ring here, he must finish that sentence he has in mind. But straight into the conversation, the Adeyanju gets seized and diseased. It relates keenly to Peter Obi and the recent letter that resurfaced or that surfaced on the internet on X. You see, I've been asking myself this question: why are we really debating what a person is doing with his right? Like we've been all here for hours listening to ourselves, talking and arguing. Why are we debating what a person is doing with his right? What is within his right to do so? And the reason is very simple, because of the caliber of person that Peter Obi is. You see, if Peter Obi has gone home, thought about it, called his lawyer, a revered senior advocate of Nigeria, sought legal advice, and upon legal advice, he decided to take the step to institute an action against Deji Adeyanju, of which we have not even gotten to the place of action. What we are seeing is what we may call in legal parlance as pre-action notice. I want to institute an action, but for professional reasons, let us resolve it amicably. So this is an opportunity for you to go back, reflect on the things that you have done, check them to be sure if they are indeed correct or wrong, and do what is necessary. If you find them to be wrong, tender an apology. Peter Obi in his letter did not ask for any monetary reward. I want to state that categorically. Peter Obi did not ask for a monetary reward from Deji Adeyanju. The reason is very simple. A person of the caliber of Peter Obi is not interested in Deji Adeyanju's money. It's not possible that a person like me will institute such a defamation, um, or we send such a letter as that and not a request for payment of fee. With the magnitude of defamation, libelous um, defamation that we have here, it's obvious. But to get into the meat of it, is there an iota or is there a case of this defamation here? I think that sane minds, without being coerced, without being deceived, will agree that the statements that Deji Adeyanju has put out in the public over time, over a period, are libelous, they are defamatory, they are scandalous, they are only targeted to tarnish the personality of Peter Obi. I ask myself, a person who is a legal practitioner, a person who is a rights activist in his own right, a person who is into public interest litigation and issues that relate to the public interest, at his age, level, and standard, have chosen to play in the mud this much? Why do you even say this and you keep telling people that you triple dare them, you double dare them to institute a defamatory action? Go and read everything that Deji Adeyanju has said. If a person says something that is not true with the aim of tarnishing a person's image, then he should be made to bear the consequences. Peter Obi has only asked that Deji Adeyanju apologizes for these things and then publish such apology on his X handle and Facebook handle where he used to spread it, and as well on National Daily. Please, why are you guys here vilifying the person of Peter Obi for this? Why? Do you expect a person not to fight for his integrity, his name, when his name has been brought to disrepute? A person who is about to lead the most populous black nation. What do you guys have in mind? Because I sat here, I've listened, and I've kept probing my mind to know, where are all this antagonism coming from? Is it because it is Peter Obi instituting that action that it has become a problem? Or if any other person had instituted such an action, not Peter Obi, it would have still been a problem. So it is good that we set examples. And what better person to set this example with than with Deji Adeyanju? A person who has refused to listen to the words of wisdom. Even after receiving that letter, he went ahead to still make those statements. You accuse a person of fraud. You accuse a person of being a bigot. You accuse a person of bribing you. Do you know what it means? Do you really know what it means in our jurisprudence, in our laws? For somebody to come out openly and say that you offered him money, you bribed him to do something, and that he rejected it. He comes out to say that you are a fraud, you have deceived people, you have collected people's money, that you have collected state money, you have used state monies to make investments, you have reached it for your personal gain without any documentary evidence. I'm happy he started saying some of these things before he became a lawyer, and he has continued saying them after becoming a lawyer. He has said all of these things without any proof whatsoever. There is no pictorial evidence, there is no documentary evidence, absolutely nothing, just on the premise of believe me. That is all Deji Adeyanju has spent his time and career doing on the issues of Peter Obi. You see, I'm not going to come here and attack you guys one by one for those of you who have come after Peter Obi, but I want you to understand that it is within Peter Obi's right to sue if any other person has been defamed and the person has decided not to sue. It is the person's decision, and you should not come and place him side by side with Peter Obi. Everybody should choose what they want. You can tarnish my image and I decide not to sue, and you tarnish somebody else's image and the person decides to sue. We all know the reasons for doing so. I hope you know that there's a cap, a placement on such civil actions that, okay, within 6 years, if social thing happens and you don't institute an action, you cannot institute an action after 6 years. So you want all of these things to persist in the media space when the time is bad for such, or when his name has been brought to disrepute, media houses have published it as headline news, then you now want him to now spend time in the future answering questions. No. So I support the fact that Peter Obi has done this. It is a step in the right direction. And I'm very happy that Adeyanju has stood his ground. It will afford him the opportunity to indeed prove the things he has said. I had people talking about the whole legal process. These days when I come to space, I'm usually circumspect as to what I say about, legal actions and reasons best known to me. Let me tell you, if Peter Obi goes to court, the only thing that Peter Obi needs to prove is that the statement was made and the statement was libelous and it was aimed to tarnish his image. Simple and short. The bulk of the work falls on Adeyanju to prove that, yes, I made this statement. It may be libelous, it may be defamatory, but it is true. So now you begin to ask yourself, how can Deji Adeyanju prove, either by documentary evidence, by oral testimony, that Peter Obi defrauded somebody? or Peter Obi use state money for his private gain, he's going to show accounts. He's going to show documents, statements of account to show this. I don't need to teach whoever is going to handle his case or whatever what they need to do to prove, but we know the whole legal gymnastics. He's going to prove at what point did Peter Obi as a person bribed him with so amount. What was the amount? Where are the naira notes? At what occasion did this happen? On what date? What circumstances led to it? So don't try to think that Peter Obi just decided, woke up one morning, called his lawyer and wrote a letter and sent it to Deji Adeyanju. There have been decisions, there have been advices that have come their way before they took this decision to do this. So allow them. This matter may not get to court. In fact, I wish it doesn't get to court. Reasons best known to me. These are things that people can intervene, or Deji Adeyanju himself can simply write apology letter, because all of us know very much that these things are false. But what many of you have come up here to do is simply to defend it because of you don't like the person of Peter Obi. You are not saying that what he has said is right. You are only defending it on the basis of your dislike for the personality of Peter Obi. So it may be a pain in your ass, it may be a needle on your skin, but allow them to do their thing. If you feel he is right in all he has said, then he doesn't need to apologize. After 7 days, I think that was given on that letter, if they decide to continue and institute an action against him, that would be fine. Then we see what the results will come. As for many who think that this is one of those cases that would just be pushed under the carpet, or when it goes to court, it's going to stay there for years. Whatever the number of years it's going to stay, for people like me, we'll be waiting for the outcome, because I would even like to use it as a case law in subsequent cases. So we'll be waiting and we'll see. I know that this case will be dispensed with urgency, but I guess we'll see. Thank
So,
you very much.
just master, what about those people who are of the opinion that even if Peter Obi was right, even if this guy was being libelous and was being this and that, like the fact that someone of Peter Obi's stature is taking, an activist to court may not, say well for him, politically speaking. Like people may find that, is high-handed in dealing with, you know, voices that are not necessarily in support of him. Well, what do you think?
All right. We now ask ourselves, what is the definition of high-handedness? Peter Obi has followed due process in this. He has given him a pre-action notice. He has told him his demands before a pending suit may come into play. So this is not high-handedness on one hand. On the other hand, why this thing needs to be done, and I'm of the opinion that it actually needs to be done, is also because we are talking about the status of Peter Obi. It's also because of the status of Deji Adeyanju. See, there are certain things that we don't need to deny. Deji Adeyanju has a huge followership. To some people, members of the society, they see many of the things that Adeyanju say as true and something to go by. To another section of the society, they see Deji Adeyanju as a person of integrity. So whatever he says, they will take it, they will hold it to high esteem. So, it's different when a riffraff, like many on social media, come to Peter Obi's post and insult him and say all of that. Many people would look at those type of people and say, these are just hungry people who don't know what they are looking for. You understand me? But because of the status of Deji Adeyanju, he claims not to be a political player. He claims to be a person that does not align with any political party or any candidate. So people will believe what he has said more likely. So he should be able to prove that, okay, what I've said is true. Then Peter Obi will go back home and say, okay, fine, what you said is true. Case closed. So it does not reflect high-handedness. Deji Adeyanju is not the first activist to have been sued. I need to establish this. Many activists have been given letters Many activists have been sued. Femi Falana have been sued. Name them. Of blessed memory. What's his name again? How can his name skip me for heaven's sake? The celebrated rights activist.
Ganify.
Ah, Ganifa Emi, thank you very much. Many people have sent him letters. He has been sued. In fact, he was even sued by his own professional body, the Legal Practitioners Disciplinary Committee. He was sued by fellow lawyers. He was sued by people who felt he was defaming them. So why should Deji Adeyanju be different? Why should we give him special treatment? If he has violated the rights, fundamental rights enshrined between section, I think, is it 32 now of the 1999 Constitution down to section 44 of the Constitution. All of this has given everybody their rights, their fundamental human rights. And where yours stops is where another person's begin. So you should know. I want to ask back, Deji. Are we saying that people should not be made to bear the consequences of the things they do or they say because of the caliber of the persons they are doing it to? I want to ask you back that question.
No, absolutely not. I mean, we should all be able to face the consequences of our speeches and all of that. I mean, we have to understand that, our utterances, especially in public, cannot be reckless and make unfounded statements. However, some of the people who are criticizing this are saying that we all do it, like obedience, PDP, APC, like we are all guilty as charged. And if they start speaking everyone one by one, how many of us will be left on spaces to speak? You see, Maswe.
You see, Deji, that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of it. We all do it, assuming but not considering the fact that all of us do it. If by happenstance you do it, Deji, and a person sends you a letter that at so instance you have defamed me, I require an apology. I'm not even asking you for money. Just apologize for it so that my integrity can stay intact. Won't you apologize? It doesn't say anything. Going forward, you only become careful with the things you say. If we all do it, then let us all be ready for the day we will apologize or the day we'll be expecting court cases. That should be the case. If you are not ready to stop doing it, be expecting your own letter. That should be the case. Remember, you see, the thing with defamation, a person reached out to me, a client reached out to me and told me that he wanted to initiate a defamation suit against the person. And we looked at it. Yes, there were elements of defamation still on social media. You see, there are a lot of social media cases that have been toned down because of this same phrase that you made, that we all do it. But there are certain people who should not be excused. Like I told you, Deji Adeyanju is a public figure, like it or not. Many people who would like to attack me for saying so, but it is the truth. He is a public figure, a person who was even invited to deliver a session at the Nigerian Bar Association, a lawyer, a right activist. He should not be found on these tables. Believe you me, Deji, I like to state here categorically that since I was made a lawyer, I am more careful with the things I say because there is an expectation, natural. It comes naturally by, there were things I was doing. Let me even tell you this. There were things I was doing that in 2016, when I got admission to study law, I stopped doing it. I'm a graphic designer, a professional printer. There were things I was designing in those days. When I started, I was not yet a lawyer. But immediately I started studying law in 2016, I wasn't waiting for security operatives or anybody to come and look for me. I'm not saying that I was doing what would make them look for me, but I had to speak wisdom to myself and say, oh boy, year one studying law, you should not be found doing anything that would drop you. In the same manner, Deji Adeyanju, who is fighting for people's rights, I'm supposed to see him behind Peter Obi fighting for Peter Obi's rights. But what has he done? He has abused right activism. I must state categorically, I celebrate, and that is one of the reasons why you would never hear me insult Sowore on aspects that relate to right activism. Some people may come here and have different views. Your view is not mine. I have reasons for that. For many years, I've been in rights activism and I do the best I can. I would never. But when it comes to political ground, I know that that is a different play. But if Deji Adeyanju says, I'm a rights activist, I'm a lawyer, so much is expected of him. To him, much is given, much is expected. And that is the reason why, for a person like himself, we will not look at it from the lens that because many people are doing it. If Mr. A, who is living in one suburb here in Abuja with me, or he's in Lagos in Makoko, who does not even understand law, he has not even interfaced with a lawyer before, is doing it, we shouldn't find Deji Adeyanju also doing it. We shouldn't. We actually shouldn't.
Thank you very much, Juicy Maxwell. That was great. So, guys, I talked about a female session, a women's session, or ladies section. I don't even know what you will call it. We are approaching it. But before then, Adewale will speak, and then we go in. Thank you, Juicy Maxwell. Adewale, please go on.
Thank you very much. Um, I'm not really bothered about the APC guys saying why is Obi swing and all of that. I'm more bothered why certain obedience are feeling like he shouldn't have done that. I mean, why should we say shouldn't do that? He has every right. No, ordinarily, as a citizen of the country, as I mean, we're under democracy now, so ordinarily you can do whatever it is you want to do if you feel it is not right. But secondly, due to the fact that this man is contesting to be a president, and you see things like this, when they linger too long on the social media space, at some point, it's going to haunt you. I mean, at some point. Please remember that not everybody is obedient and Ronu. There are people who are genuinely neutral. There are people who are genuinely watching. There are people who are genuinely seeing and trying to see what's happening there. So there are certainly some people who are actually neutral. There are people who are having a conflict of, oh, Tinubu is from my tribe, or oh, but I like Obi. Well, Tinubu is Yoruba man, but I like Obi. So there's this conflict in so many people, and these are things that decide on what they will do or their decision at the end of the day. And then, personally, for someone who do not follow anybody blindly, I am an obedient to the call. But sometimes when things get out there, you want to see the end of it. I would personally want to see the end of this. Maybe at the end of the day, we can finally, because if at the end of this, it goes to court, and the court, I don't know the legal language you use for that, and the court, is it like justify, how am I going to put it? And the court says, oh, the Adeyanju, you have done something wrong. You either pay a fine or spend a few months in prison. I mean, at the end of the day, this will even give us obedient more bragging rights. I will be able to brag better and even more on this space. Let this thing go to court. Let this thing be sorted out. Let everybody see this thing. Let all of us see the end of this thing. And this will serve as a deterrent to many people who are hoping to do same. You are going to see how many people will now start treading carefully now. I'm telling you, people, so many senseless guys out there will start trading carefully next time. The day did he sue Bayo Ononuga that time? But by notice there was a legal case that time. You will see since then Ononuga has been trading carefully too. So I mean, let this man go to court. Let the court settle this matter once and for all, and let and obedience should not be saying this man. We shouldn't be encouraging that. It's a public figure. He's trying to be president. But we know where this thing will end at the end of the day anyways. We all know. We know who we follow. We know our leader here. But still, we need something like this to ordinarily we own this social media, especially this Twitter. Now we get her. So when we now go to court and then we at the end of the day things become clearer and open and we get more bragging right, and this is something that can even hurt, that can part this our leader to this presidency we are all trying to push him to. And I'm hoping and I'm praying that God will make this thing succeed by the grace of God. Thank you very much.
Deji, we can't hear you if you're speaking.
Deji, are you there? Maybe he has a call.
I don't, I don't know if you called me, but I heard something like my name. Somebody's your line is breaking. Whoever is talking, I don't know if anybody can hear me.
Yeah, we can hear you, but I'm not sure if Deji is trying to say something though.
Chidi, can you still hear? I can't hear from here.
No, he's not speaking. I suspect maybe he is on a phone call. Maybe.
Okay.
So if someone has music to entertain us, anyone that can sing while we wait.